Okay, I know I always say it, but I really fucking debated doing this video because. But then some people have always written to me like, you know what, I'm having a bad day. You make me laugh with your pathetic, angry rants and bullshit views on life and stuff like that. So if I help somebody else out today, great. Uh, at my own expense. Let me just put it all out there. Okay, so today, by you know by the title, this is a little story here. I had my usual health checkup. Now here's what I got to say. I hadn't had a doctor, like I had a family doctor who also treated my mother, but then he like worked for a hospital that fucking killed her last year. So I thought it might be time to switch it up. Maybe I don't want to see this guy anymore. But this is a doctor I've had for a long time, so I didn't know who to go to. Like if something was wrong, I need an annual checkup. I would go to one of these fucking minute clinics where they just rush you in, steal your credit card number, and then throw you out, and then pretend they did something. So finally, get to a real checkup. Everything, I think it's gonna go great. I had a checkup today. Now, last night I had some activity. It wasn't paranormal; it was pornographic, and it plays into it. As a matter of fact, Sexy Monkey. Remember when I was really mad about the troll acting up again? By the way, I'll deal with him. CJVTV2 in about a day. It's gonna get good. Trust me. I've already put the screenshots up. Look, keep it up. Keep it up, dude. I'm warning you. I'm fucking warning you. All right. Sorry, got off on a tangent again. But when I was coming out last night, that's where I was coming out from. I was fucking. I actually fuck once in a while. Can you believe it? So that's where I was coming from when I called you. Coming from. Yeah, I came all over her face. Anyway, sorry. I'm trying to avoid what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so I check up all that. Doctor's like, hey, and I've first time ever meeting him. Seems like a nice guy. Blood pressure's great. I heard you had a problem with cholesterol. Looks like it's staying steady. Might want to take some more fish oil. Blah blah blah. It's like okay, I got to do the annual. And I'm like, no. I had the finger up the butt. Like you can't do that to me because I just had that. He's like, no. He's like, I gotta check the testicles. I was like, well, say no more. And then he gets down on his knees and he starts licking him because he's got to check him for I don't know, like a taste. He said he could tell if something's wrong. And then he just started really just putting it in his mouth because that's a way he can gauge if it's fleshy enough, if the flesh is weird. And then, it comes a point in the physical where he bends over and I'm supposed to put it inside him to see if I can achieve an erection and keep it there. And even if I can't, he can play some porno in the corner. And I hope that's everybody's doctor. I'm kidding. So, you just look at the balls and, do all that shit. Here's the part that gets me. I had activity last night. I didn't think it was that weird or whatever, but apparently I'm fucking Satan or something like that. I don't know. He looks down. He's got the balls. I do that, and he's doing this. And he's like, "What's going on with your penis?" What? I literally saying that I was holding my nuts. I'm like, "It's I tried to talk it into wearing a fun winter jacket, but he wanted to stick with plaid, so that's why it's dressed up like that today. What are you talking about? What's up with my... What kind of question is that? What's up with my penis? It's like, looks really bruised. I need to take a better look at your penis. I don't want a doctor to ever say that to me. I never, ever, ever again say that to me. I'm like, it's fine. He's like, just sit down. Because I was standing up. He's like, just sit down. So I sit down and, on the edge of the table, whatever. And he's like, he's doing this shit to my dick. Wow. Does that hurt? I'm like, I'm like, no, I'm fine. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? He's like, listen, he's like, did you have some sexual intercourse? Did I have some sexual intercourse? No, I had a smidge. I had a tad of sexual intercourse. I had some sexual intercourse. What do you want to know? I'm like, I've been tested for everything. He's like, no. He's like, do you often engage in violent sexual intercourse? I'm like, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, what? He said it again. He's like, you have a lot of violent sexual intercourse? I'm like, and I opened myself up to the question. I'm like, what do you mean by violent? Which even made him look like, what the fuck do you mean? What do I mean by violent? What does he consider violent? So at this point, I think he thinks that I'm just raping girls in a park or something like that. Just violent sexual intercourse. He's like, well, very rough. Looking at my dick again. Rough sex with men, women. And I'm like, yes, please. And yes, please. And he's like, I'm just saying it's very bruised, and if you're gonna engage in really rough, violent, I'm like, I wish you would stop saying that, violent sex. He's like, you have to know, you can tear down the skin around the penis. It's very fragile, and you don't want to like get any wound or anything like that. It's especially how hard you're thrusting, and like if your partner. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I said, is there a problem? He's like, well, it's very bruised. I would take an Advil or something like that if I were you. Like, are you sure it doesn't hurt? I am positive it doesn't hurt. I'm like, leave me the fuck alone at this point. And I'm just beyond humiliated at this point. Not really. I don't care about anything. But I was just like, oh my god. And so then he's just still focused on this. He's like, I think he wanted me to tell him like a dirty penthouse story. Like, okay, so, I went to this girl's house. I didn't know the girl was, going to bring out her sister and her hot best friend and the 50-year-old male janitor who plugged me in the ass while I'm plugging her in the ass. And then we all peed on each other. And I said, I have an idea. Let's drill a hole in the floor and fuck the wood. And then all chant satanic tunes together and hold hands while we do it and just spit on each other at random intervals. Because I think that's what he's picturing in his head. It's some weird, bizarre, satanic shit. Like there's hoods, goats, blood involved. Blood is lube or something like that. I don't know. But he's like, well, I'm just saying, if you have rough, violent sex, you have to know you have capillaries and blood vessels down there, and that can be concerning, if you're going to be very rough, as you apparently like to be. Does anybody else have this conversation? He was fixated on this. I was like, can we move on? Can we just fucking move on? I said, I know, rough, violent sex, I get it bad, bad, bad. He's like, okay. And in actuality, this whole conversation probably took 30, 40 seconds. And he's right. He's like, I don't want you to like tear any, oh God. Oh. He's like, I don't want you to tear anything or get a laceration or, break a blood vessel. Or he's like, do you know, do you know penises can fracture too? I'm like, yes, I knew that. Why are we talking about this? Just, please, stick your finger up my ass. Can we do that now? Please, I'll taste it after you do if you just fuck up. So he's just like, well, so he moved on. But the whole time, then he leaves. And he's like, okay, everything's great. Woo! Come back when you got some more bruised dick or something like that. And, your physical is great and you look great. And, here's my number in case you want to party later. Because obviously you like to party by the looks of you. Yeah. So he leaves. And then I just do that like walk of shame because I know that this guy, doctors talk, everybody talks, went out there. He's one of these motherfuckers. I'll bet you anything went out there like, this motherfucker's into some kinky shit. I'm telling you right now. I think he's one of them motherfuckers. Probably had a girl like, knee him in the nuts over and over and saying, yes, mistress, yes, mistress. I guarantee he's one of these fuckers. You should see the bruise. I mean, he's got a fucking bruise on his cock. It's a dark bruise too. I mean, he's bruised. I mean, your knee bruised is one thing, but your dick, I mean, Jesus Christ, what the fuck was he up to last night? No, it's all good and everything. I just felt that he told people that, and then here's the kicker. So I'm leaving, and as I'm leaving, he goes, by the way, I'm freezing. I was waiting for out of his mouth, and there's people there because it's a waiting room, by the way, I was waiting for him to say, by the way, no rough, violent sex. Come on. What's wrong with you? God, these fucking people nowadays, they have the rough, the violent sex. I was just waiting for him to say something. He's like, by the way, it's nice meeting you. I just walked out to my car. I told Stevie the story, and I shouldn't have told Stevie because he went, I didn't know you went somewhere last night. I'm like, I went out. I told you I was going out to so-and-so's house. And I said, it was a couple. And he's like, you were with a couple? It's like, how come you didn't invite me? I said, I wasn't with a couple. I said, I'm not explaining shit to you. I said, because I wasn't, trust me, whatever you were going to do, I was not interested in. Trust me. He's like, what kind of rough, violent sex? I'm like, he's like, can I see it? I'm like, no, you can't see it. I'm like, no, just don't get weird. He's like, well, I want to know what they're talking about. He's like, where is it? Let me see. Pull it out. Come on. Jesus Christ. We've known each other forever. I don't care. I'm not going to try to suck it. You're totally not my type. You know who is my type. That hot guy that comes here all the time. He got off on a tangent, so I was able to just make him forget everything. But yeah, I have apparently rough, violent sex. And what's up with my penis? It's fine. It's good. It's there, and it's not giving me any attitude. It's a penis, but apparently it's getting me into trouble. Apparently, So guys, fellas out there, if you're gonna have the rough, violent sex, I can't believe I've never heard any sex I've had at least described that rough and violent. Like, hey, you have sex with Jay? Yeah, I totally had sex with Jay. What happened? Well, let me tell you one thing. It was rough and violent in German, and there's a healthy dose of paganism in there, and I think even some communism thrown in. Like, it was something. I think Satan would be pissed at him. I'm really sick. So there. I hope you guys feel better at my expense. I know my dick does. Forget about rough, violent sex. Enjoy.